Snap those shin guards into place. The new year is here and let's make haste. Welcome to the Burnie Podcast.
Yep, Happy New Year everybody. Welcome back to the Burnie Podcast for 2026. And we're now going to be doing episodes fortnightly where we're going to take a look at everything that's happening around the Purdy Worldwide Community Stadium.
In this week's episode, we have a look back at a rather cold and frosty start to the year, with several matches abandoned and training postponed. But in the hot seat tonight, we have Ali Bingham from Kick Mental Health, who will be chatting about the company he started over 6 years ago.
But what we'll do before we introduce Ali is we'll catch up about the seniors. So obviously their match against Bathgate the weekend was postponed because of the frozen pitch, which I think happened to basically every team in West Lothian over the weekend. And that game's now going to take place on the 31st of January.
I'm looking forward to that one. We did get a win against Luncarty at home with a very tight and scrappy game. I had the pleasure of being there and watching. I took some pictures when I was
good.
there.
How was the game?
It was good. It was good. Certainly plenty of home support. I think we could have done a bit better, but the heart and desire was there, and that was the main thing.
That's good, and obviously as well, Richie Hutton is returned, so
yes,
200 appearances
now. Yep, and Andy Jones got the 50 mark as well.
Yep, well done.
So well done indeed, gentlemen. A proud achievement at any club, really. How have your 2009s been getting back on? Are you back into the swing of things?
We trained a couple of times. And then obviously with the weather, we've not been able to play games, we've had 2 called off. So we got a match yesterday just against Glenrothes, beat them 4-1. So that's the only game we've had because we've got a Scottish Cup game against Glenaffer at the weekend. So we had to kind of get ourselves back into it. So no been as well as we wanted it to go, to be honest. You know, we really wish that we got more games and more training and stuff, but it's all been called off. We've even had to do a fitness session up at the college.
That's good. At least you got the chance to do that.
We've barely been able to do anything that we've wanted to do. Yeah. What about your team? Similar?
We have a fairly quiet. We enjoyed the laser tag, and yeah, we only got back training last night because we were called off last week. So we've got a game this weekend against Muirston, which is going to be a very tough game for us. But looking forward to that.
Aye, definitely. Good boy Sander McAllister debut for Motherwell. I don't know if you've seen that.
I did. That was really good. A great advert for the club, being someone that rose through the ranks here at Blackburn to reach the very pinnacle of Scottish football. Well done, Xander. We're all very, very proud of you.
And if you want to be part of the history at Blackburn Community Football Club, why not leave your mark with a personalised brick on our supporters' wall? Get in touch with Trevor or a committee member to put your name immortalised forever.
Have you seen Rido's one up there?
No, I've not been down yet. I've not been back because we did a game yesterday. But our game was at the Hart Hill pitch. I've not been back to the stadium yet.
Right. Well, talking about Rido, our young super fan, he turned 21 this week. Happy birthday, Rido, from everyone here at the Burnie Podcast. We'll be sure to give you your dumps next time we see you at training.
Yeah, brilliant. Happy birthday, Rido. On to the girls now. So there's a girls soccer school for ages 5 to 7 at the Partnership Centre every Thursday from 5 to 6 p.m. If you want more information about that, just have a look at our community page.
Yes, the under 18 girls also welcome 2 new players to their team. Maya Murray, a keen and competent midfielder, and she'll also be joined by Alicia Quinn, a proven striker signed from Muirston.
Yep, and over Christmas as well, we managed to organise a bus for the children in the club to go in the holiday camp as well, to go and see Snow White at the Bathgate Regal Centre. So massive thanks to the council members, Finn, Kelly and Ellie and Logan, for helping make the day run so smoothly. Yes,
thanks indeed, guys. Jared, who would have had money on Hearts still being top of the league at this point?
I still, even 2 months ago, I said they'd still be top for quite a while.
Yeah.
At the start of the season, definitely not. But that's wild, But they'll fall off.
And are you sorry to see Mr. Nancy
gutted,
depart
man.
the boys?
I'm gutted. I'm absolutely gutted. I love Wilfred Nancy, but he's gone. I'm gutted. So.
With Martin O'Neill now back in charge, do you think things will resume? Normal service shall resume?
Not entirely. I think they'll definitely pick up. They'll definitely pick up points, but. It's not going to all be rosy in the garden. The transfer window isn't going so well this far, so I don't think it'll be normal service at Celtic Park, but they'll definitely do better than Brother Wilfred. Aye, so Rangers as well, beat them at Parkhead 3-1, so...
I wasn't going to mention that, but I know you were keen to bring that up.
I was really keen to bring that up, just for any Celtic fans that watch the podcast. I was really buzzing for that, and obviously we've had a decent transfer window so far, so...
So you definitely see Rangers overtaking Hearts towards the end of the season and winning the league?
By the end of February, I think Rangers will be top of the league.
You reckon?
I reckon.
Cool. Well, my hope is that Livingston managed to get out of the bottom.
That'd be nice. You don't want your hometown to be relegated.
No,
definitely not.
I think, what I was pleased to see that they put their faith in Mr. Martindale, and they've said they're keeping, regardless of the results, they're keeping him on. I think what they're doing at the club and with their underpinnings at the moment is definitely going to make the difference. I think they will start to see the results.
Aye, because they've brought in a couple of new signings as well.
Oh yeah, so, Arfield, didn't they?
Aye, they've brought in Arfield and they've brought in a couple other boys as well. So hoping
fingers
so.
Crossed.
Hoping so. I'd no like to see my town get relegated. Don't really want to shout against you.
No.
The place you were born and live. So
good stuff. Well, that's enough Scottish football for now. Will we bring our guest on for this evening?
Aye, so we'll bring in Ali just now. So welcome to the podcast, Ali. Thanks for obviously coming in. So how are you doing tonight?
Cheers for having us. Good, really good. Keeping busy.
Good, mate, good.
Cool. For anyone, welcome to the podcast, Ali. For anyone who's listening that's never heard of Kick Mental Health, what is it in one sentence?
So, Kick Mental Health is a wellbeing brand.
A wellbeing brand. Excellent. And what does that entail? Expand a bit more.
What we do is we do physical activities, which is mostly football, but we also add the wellbeing side, which is like player support for people, and basically the people will come along to the football sessions, they'll grow in confidence, we'll get to know them, and then if they need any support we can put them onto the network that we've got.
Oh, that's brilliant. Something that's definitely was missing for a long time in West Lothian, I think.
It is. So when I started this back in 2019, and there was nothing like us. There was groups doing it down in England, but there was nothing really up here at the time, and it was one of the things I thought about it more as a social aspect. When we started in Lanark, it was just one night a week, 14 folk came along and just played football, but slowly you did start to see that there was people were wanting this kind of thing, so we just kind of got it going, and it's went to the kind of a level that we couldn't have imagined when it started.
Well, definitely good on yourself for starting that. It was definitely something I think was needed. But a wee bit more about yourself. So, what do you think a good week looks like for you? Like, what are you actually busy doing, like day to day?
So, I work in construction day to day. So, basically, work during the day, and then we've got our sessions at night now. So, a week's quite busy. Obviously, I've got 2 kids as well at home, so it's trying to keep that balance. But in general, the nights are really enjoyable because you're going out, you're meeting new people like every night, and you're getting to watch people play football, which is just enjoyment. So hard work during the day and then fun at night. So I would say that's probably about it.
Do they stop, don't you?
Yeah.
Aye.
So, looking at all the sessions, I know you do a Kick Mental Health in Blackburn here on a Friday. What about the other days of the week?
So Monday, Tuesday we're up at Craigswood. So the sessions that we run on a Monday and a Friday are free for people to come along. They are busier sessions, and then during the week the sessions that we run are £5 per person. Big thing about what we try and do is we try to keep it affordable as much as possible. Obviously pitches on the cheap these days, everybody knows that, so if people come along to the Mondays and the Fridays, hopefully they come along maybe on a Tuesday or a Wednesday, and that kind of self-funds everything that we do,
right.
Which it makes sense. And with adding the sessions that people pay for, we can then start to add sessions in different places, which is then branching out. So that's kind of what we're looking to kind of create.
And what's your sort of earliest memory of mental health being something that's real and not just a phrase that people just chuck about and say like mental health this or mental health that?
I wouldn't say it was something that I was hit with when I was younger. It was more when we started playing amateur football. So I think I must have been about 18, 19, and we were playing a Sunday league through in Coatbridge, and I think within a 2-month period one of the teams was hit really badly, maybe by 3 or 4 players, and that was the first time that we kind of looked at it and said this is a massive problem, because the problem was massive in North Lanarkshire at the time, and then that was why we kind of put our first session in South Lanarkshire, because we felt that was a place and an area I need. And then we've slowly moved through to West Lothian and realised that everywhere needs the kind of sessions that we do. So.
And if possible, would you like to? Obviously, it's hard work, but would you like to keep expanding that out with and north and a wee bit near to Edinburgh? And
there is a plan to go full time with it. There's definitely work we can do within schools, football clubs. We're already partnering a couple of semi-professional clubs, so there's definitely work out there. As many sessions as possible. I'd like to. The idea of having even teams through all the age groups where we can teach them, but people enjoy football as well. Plus, they get the competitive side. I think that's definitely a planning that we're looking to kind of put in place.
Definitely, and that obviously be really good because obviously you're saying you've realised you need it everywhere, so it's like just trying to be there. So.
Yeah, it's you can't put sessions everywhere. It would be impossible. But we've kind of based ourselves in West Lothian, and now we're slowly branching out. Whereas maybe this year we might get Edinburgh and Falkirk. That's our two main areas that we're looking to kind of hit this year. You could put 20 sessions on next week, but the problem is these sessions wouldn't run every week. And one thing that we've always done is our schedule runs the same every single week because people like routine.
Aye, they need that.
And you get to the stage where I don't think half the time people realise that they're coming on a Monday just because Monday's the night they come out to football. And that's how we kind of build such a big community.
So talking about branching out, I see you've opened another one up in Stornoway, is that right?
Yeah, I won't be running that one, put it that way. But
it shows the power of the brand is there.
Yeah, it's been one of the things where the opportunities kind of arisen with one of our participants moving up there, and they've said, like, I've been coming to use for 3-4 years, I want to try it, and we gave him kind of the list of what he needed to do, and then quite quickly back he was like, right, that's me sorted, what do I do now? And I was like, well, you go for it. And so far I've never seen so much interest in a session. So obviously it's still a couple of weeks away, but it looks really good, and it just shows that you probably can put sessions everywhere if you've got the right people running them.
Yeah.
And just, it was interesting to hear you there say, you know, about going full time. I know you can't give away too much, but what would that sort of look like for you? Would you kind of step away from construction and maybe?
You would have to. I would have to step away, but you have to make sure, obviously, that we've got enough work to do, and that's where we're slowly starting to speak to schools, colleges, universities, and we're putting support plans in place with other clubs where we basically consult with them, and if they need any help, then we're going to them, and we can be a face for players at training and stuff.
Aye. And forgive me if I've got this wrong. I don't know if you're a charity or that yet, but is that maybe something you're going to look to go down?
No, so we tried the charity route and it just didn't work for us. That's just something, and we didn't feel like we were getting the kind of funding that we could
would have wanted.
Yeah, that we wanted. So we went down about 6 months ago. We went down the business route, and I found it so much easier. There's so much more out there for businesses, like networking events, and we're going with a kind of different strategy to these networking events, because we are going there to kind of offer them a service, which I've found so much easier, and it's been actually more enjoyable the 6 months rather than try to fight for funding, which is impossible because everybody's looking for the same thing. So that's been the plan that we've kind of moved towards.
No, superb.
So who's it mainly for? I mean, I take it you're not discriminating. I mean, it's literally for anybody, men and women.
Yes, anybody over the age of 16. Our age range goes from 16 to people in their 60s. It's just whoever wants to get involved with it. Being football, you will hit a certain demographic. A lot of our sessions are 16 to 24 year olds. That's just how it's going to be. But I feel like with the amount of sessions we've got, certain sessions cater to different people. So we see maybe a higher age demographic at women's sessions or the sessions that we run later on at night, because some people are working. That suits them better, and it's difficult. You can't really put a target on it, but we just try and tell everybody, look, if you fancy it, come along, because it's a really big community, and people will come along if the opportunity's there. So we're seeing a kind of good mix.
And obviously saying there, like, the sessions are predominantly 16 to 24, do you think that is just due to the fact that it's harder for younger people to maybe socialise these days, or do you think that's just purely down to like they're young, it's who's just going to be playing football?
There's probably different things. Football's probably big within that, but a lot of the work we do is through social media, so that demographic will probably see us first. You'll see like we're pushing more towards TikTok and Instagram because that's where most of the people are coming along, but it's it could probably be a couple of different things. Maybe because we've got that football background as well, we've got a couple of footballers that help us. That will bring the younger crowd because they think, oh, if I go along to one of these sessions, sometimes there's people that I look up to there. So I would say that's kind of it.
Yeah, brilliant.
So if I walked into a kick mental health session, what would I see in the first 30 minutes? Is it just straight into the football?
So if you turn up, usually we've always had this kind of thing where we don't pounce on you. We try and let you come in. The sessions, some of them are busy, some of them are quite quiet, so come along, we'll get everybody. We'll obviously, if we've never seen you before, we'll introduce ourselves and we'll just say, look, this is how it works. We'll get people to kind of mingle with each other, and then we'll just get into small-sided games because that's how we feel people grow in confidence. I don't really think that people want to be gone straight up to. Like if they come up, usually people are quite nervous. They don't really want everybody in their face. They just want to kind of get boots on and get on with it, and then slowly we can get to know them as the session goes, rather than getting every detail about them in that first 10 minutes, which can be a wee bit too much for people.
Aye, overwhelming.
Yeah.
And was that your sort of strategy in sort of creating that safe space? Because it's obviously hard, like if you sign up for a kick mental health session, you don't want to walk in and seem as if like mental health, sign on your face like I've got mental health issues.
Yeah.
Is that your kind of approach, just making it more a safer environment for people?
My kind of plan was to make it somewhere that I would go. So yeah. I'm not that person that could sit in a circle and speak. That's not my thing. Whereas if somebody said to me, look, there's a place you could go where you can play football, and somebody will speak to you but they'll just let you get on with it, I think that would suit me better. And going by the numbers that we get on a weekly basis, I think it suits more people better.
Yeah.
And it's not to say that everybody comes for the mental health aspect of it. Some people will just come because they're getting at the house or their pal goes, but
there's things that sort of relate to mental health as well.
The good thing is, if they've been coming for a couple of months and then something happens a couple of months down the line, they're already there, so they can kind of contact us quicker. So we're being proactive rather than reactive, and that's kind of what we've always pushed. We don't want people to come when they're really, really low. We want to try and get people there all the time. So, because a lot of people think you can only go to a mental health group when you're not feeling great, but we need the people that are feeling good to come along, because that's what creates the better sessions.
And it maybe does help the ones that are feeling down, because if it's a group of people who are just feeling down, but if it's maybe there's 5 people in there who are feeling really great and 5 who aren't doing so great, they're going to mix well.
Definitely, because you need people. You need these people to kind of bring people up, and we're quite lucky that we have got a lot of good characters at sessions that have been coming for years, and they people, they've even said to us a couple of times, they're like, sometimes I don't feel like I should be here because like I don't struggle. I was like, no, but you're helping us more because you're
part
coming
of the whole thing.
And you're also helping us by, if you're coming along, people are seeing you come along. So all it takes is one of your pals to go, oh well, he goes, so I can go. And that's kind of what we don't just want to be kind of seen as a mental health group. We just want to be seen as a place where people can come.
Because it's obviously hard as well, because like see that the group's obviously going to help people who are feeling low and feeling good and things like that, but soon that you get to the point where you're feeling good, it's not as if you just want to get up and be like, right, that's me sound now, do you know what I mean?
And you do get that. You get some people that come along for a couple of months and then you'll see such a big improvement in them, and then they'll just disappear. But that's where obviously we'll get in touch with them and say, look, are you alright, are you coming back? And some people just do say, I just didn't feel like I need it anymore. But we're trying to tell them, look, still come. Like we need, especially for people that are coming along that are new, because they can see you as a kind of example. And I think that's why we've still got people there that have maybe came 5 years ago and they come every single week. And that helps us more than probably they realise.
Oh, brilliant. Fantastic.
So, How can you, like you were talking there about acting tough with the boys and stuff like that? How do you create that space where they feel that they don't have to act tough?
I think that space creates itself. It goes back to how you run the sessions, how the people that come along. I think we're quite relaxed. It's quite a relaxed environment. We try not to take the sessions too serious. All the facilitators and stuff join in, and it's some of the sessions people stay behind for half an hour. They'll speak to each other. Some sessions it'll be completely different. It's every session's kind of got its own differences. Whereas, like I said, take our Cool Look session for instance in the summer. Some people can still be sitting in the car park for an hour after the session, whereas maybe at the Livingston ones people come earlier rather than stay on. It's everywhere's got its own kind of it's different wee insights, and it's hard to explain, but I always think it's down to the people that come along, how you create that kind of community.
And obviously, I think like a massive part of socialising sometimes is having like banter with each other, ripping into each other. But how do you sort of manage that so it doesn't like cross the line between like, no, I'm not going to say bullying because that's quite a big word, but between like maybe putting somebody down a wee bit and try to keep them happy? It's
difficult because you also need to remember that it is a football environment, and football environments can go from 1 to 100 very quickly. But we've always been very good at having like a zero tolerance on people moaning. Like we try and like all our posts we kind of say match the vibe, and we've got some sessions we've got 7 or 8 facilitators at one session, so it's easy for us to pick up on if people are maybe moaning. Sometimes all it takes is look, can keep it calm and just enjoy it, and they'll come back to you and say, oh sorry, I just get carried away, and that's fine. But you just kind of have to not be too strict, but have a tolerance where you go like, don't moan, because if you want to moan, we've got amateur teams and stuff there for that have got a more competitive side.
Aye.
And it's one of the things. You're like, if you're coming to moan and shout at each other, go and play fives with your pals, because that's probably the environment for that. Whereas people that come along to these kind of sessions come to these sessions because they don't like the competitive side, and that's wasting it for the people that have maybe been coming to enjoy football for a different reason. So we've been quite good at it so far. I can't say we've ever had too much complaints. If there's been a complaint, which there has been in the past, we just try and get it sorted as quickly as possible.
Yeah, but again, where would the line be then between kind of peer and community support and going, look, I think you need clinical mental health support?
Usually it's people tell you. I know a lot of people say that people don't speak, but see, when people come to the sessions, usually if they need that proper support, they'll say, or it's quite easy to pick up on it. Like again, we've got loads of people that help, so we can kind of see if people are struggling or not. And we've always had funds there, where if we know that the waiting lists are so long for, usually that's why people struggle so much, because they're waiting for that kind of professional help. But we've always had funds there where if people really need it, we can offer funding for private sessions, and that's been through companies that's helped us or through the fundraising we've done. But I think a lot of people come to us as a kind of a bridge, so they've been to the hospital, they've not got much help, so they've tried us, and we've said, look, if you really need it, we've got this option here where you can go and get private help, whereas the waiting list is then cut from 6 months to 2 weeks, which is a massive difference.
Yeah.
And how do you know that what you guys are doing is working? Do you use like daily check-ins, like, or do you just kind of have a look at, right, he's been here 10 times and then he's left? Or like, how do you sort of measure what?
You always go by numbers, but I think it needs to be a wee bit more deeper than that. So we did during the summer, or when it's dry, we try and do the wellbeing sheets. But if you're out in the rain, people are writing in sheets, they're just going to get lost anyway. So the first thing we look at is how do the numbers look, and right now we're averaging easily over 200 people a week. So you're kind of looking at that and going, well, people are turning up, but how are people feeling? And that's where maybe the social media side comes in, where we do check-ins and stuff and people interact with that. But we started the wellbeing sheets in the summer. They were really, really good. We looked at an app. We've not had a chance to get that properly done, but that would save the paper, because it was turning into books every session with people ticking sheets. But if we could maybe look at the app or some sort where people could just even scan a barcode and just tick it.
Because maybe even half of them, they get the sheets and they're like, aye. Whereas there's maybe some that do need to fill it out.
When we first started the sheets, I wasn't sure, because I was like, people just tick them. But it did actually look as if people were taking the time to do it, because when we run sessions anyway, so usually there's 6 teams, 4 teams on, 2 teams off, so they've got to be standing for 5 minutes anyway. And it's kind of getting that, again, it's telling people that this is here to help you, and then people get on board and other people see other people doing it, and within 10 minutes everybody's done it. Getting the first person to do it's a bit difficult.
But once that one person's done it.
Once that one person's done it, everybody sees it, so it's nice and easy, and it's good for us. It's always, you've always got the pictures and stuff, but you can sit at night and look through the sheets and you can go, well, that's made a difference to them, that's made a difference. And that is probably one of the good things that I like. I like to look back and just see how much difference we are making, rather than...
And just for anybody else that's maybe worried, thinking about going, but what does confidentiality look like in your sessions? Is it what stays in the group? What's said in the group stays in the group?
Yeah, so in terms of the football, if you're needing to speak about something, we'll move away from the football. That's always one of the things we do. Unless some people will talk in a wee group, and that's fine. Sometimes we'll step out, because if they're speaking to 2 or 3 folk, then we're not needed, because there's loads of too many voices. But we also have talking groups which we do virtually, and everything that's spoken about that is kept within that group. If you're wanting to speak to us, we can do one-to-ones. That's fine. We've done it plenty of times, and again, that's nice and confidential. But I think there's knowing when somebody needs one-to-one and when somebody needs just a couple of voices, and that's something that I think we've got going really well with the football now, especially.
Yeah, and as someone who's now worked volunteered, I'd say worked because of what you've done is incredible, in mental health for the last 6, going on 7 years this year, but being 2026. What would you change about the way that, as a community, we approach mental health and deal with mental health? What's the biggest thing that you would do about it?
I think it's difficult. I still don't think there's enough for people to do. I think most of the time, I go back to when we were younger, there was clubs and stuff that we used to go to. We used to spend the majority of our nights there, and that was, as much as it was keeping us off the streets, it was also giving us something to do, which socialising and stuff, and it always helped us. But now you look at it and there's nothing really to do apart from, and you see that by the numbers that come along. That's why we've maybe looked at youth sessions in the future, because I think that we've got people there that could be kind of role models for people, and it would get people off the streets, it would get people out of the house, because again, I think social media becomes a big problem as well. People are glued to their phones, and that's one thing that even at sessions we've had people playing football on their phones. It's laughable, but that's just the world we live in, and it's trying to get people to realise, look, coming out, having a chat, socialising and keeping active is the best thing you can do for yourself.
And do you think phones have been a massive part in youngsters' sort of mental health, like taken away from maybe cyberbullying, because obviously that's something that can contribute to having a bad mental health, but even just like scrolling for hours and becoming like a sloth, do you think that's something that's...
It is. It's like, we get some people, and it's usually parents that contact us and say, maybe the kid's 16 or 17, they're like, I'm really interested and I'm coming along, but all he'll do is sit on his Xbox. And we've had cases where where the parents went, all they've done for the past week is just sit on the Xbox, and that can become massive, and you're living your world completely different to everybody else. And then when you're coming outside, it's a completely different world, because you're in your own wee kind of, just in that one lane where all you know is sitting in the house playing kind of games, and it
takes away from your social skills.
And social skills is probably lacking. That's one of the things. You see it every day that people you talk to, people are a lot more nervous now to speak.
Aye.
Whereas a lot of our older folk that come along, you can see they've kind of had that social aspect right through. And football gives you that as well, because you've got the changing rooms and stuff. That's probably one of the biggest social things you could find for people. And I think as well as social media, it's people live different lives on social media. Like everybody shows good bits.
Aye.
And it's hard for young people coming up seeing like they've got.
So do you think Australia's got the right mind? You know, they've banned it for under 16s.
You would say yes.
Yeah.
You can't. I don't think you can really. As much as people go, but you need to let people like do what they want. But I don't think there can be anything bad about under 16s not seeing what's on the internet. Because you can still get your stuff elsewhere. You'll still get the information that you need. It's just maybe just letting people enjoy life rather than watch other people enjoy their life.
Aye. I think like you're right in what you're saying as well, like obviously what you're saying about the social skills and that. I don't know if we're just better now at diagnosing and noticing these things, but it's really common for a lot of young people now to have anxiety and depression and they're nervous and maybe they want to be more of an introvert and things like that. It's maybe more, I don't know if we just notice it more now or if it's just becoming a thing. I don't know if COVID contributed to it. I think it's huge, like how we're all sitting in the house. You're maybe speaking to people over the phone, but it's like you've not had a face-to-face conversation with a group of people for months.
I've got a young niece who was born during COVID and she had zero social skills, like where our peers.
We're obviously every year you find it more and more because the people that are coming along are younger and COVID hit them a lot harder.
Yeah.
I
don't think we realised how much it was affecting them at the time.
I done something during COVID and it was a kind of talk and I was like, you probably won't see what's happening until kids come up that are maybe 11, like 2011, 2012, because that was the people that it really hit, and we're still to see them come up to our sessions because obviously we're over 16s now. But you can see that there's a massive difference in the people that are coming along, which is a scary thought, and you probably didn't think it at the time, but it's kind of coming back.
It's all the more reason to have places like like you guys.
It's like we've slowly had to rehabilitate the whole country in a way because a lot of us were locked indoors, and it's new things like this that are helping people get back out.
It is good to see, like it's always good to see the amount of people that are out, like just enjoying football and stuff. That's kind of the main plus, and from the football comes different things. So you've got like, we've done walks over like the Forth Road Bridge and stuff, and it is slowly starting to see people back out the house and enjoying stuff.
Where can you see Kick Mental Health in 10 years?
I don't know. I'd like us to have sessions probably in every half big bit in Scotland, so maybe like the cities, a couple of towns, but I wouldn't like it to be too. I don't think we're ready for like sessions out with the country. I think that's probably still a wee bit away, but we're slowly getting to see the brand. So we've been down to England a few times for different stuff. So as long the brand can grow, but I think sessions wise we'll try and keep it in Scotland. And again, I'd like to see we've already got an amateur team. We've kind of got a women's team. It's not like kind of league or stuff. It's more just recreational. But I don't know. I think I'd like to see kids teams as well.
And personally, I know you are the face of the brand, but personally, in 10 years or so time, do you see yourself, being the public speaker about the thing, being like more face to the public, social media, maybe interviews on the telly, podcasts like this? Do you see more of that happening?
It was one of my biggest fears I think I've ever had, because I knew as we grew, I knew obviously it would have to be more stuff, and it's only been this year that I've been offered like public speaking stuff, and I've kind of just came to the realisation that if I want Kick Mental Health to go as far as it is, I need to be the face. I still push like all the facilitators to try and make TikTok videos and stuff. It's not happened yet, but it might happen. And it's just kind of come to the realisation that nobody's going to push it as much as me. And I started it, so it's really up to me to see how far it can go.
Did you realise that, or did the person organising the podcast say that to you so that you'd come on?
No, it's something like it's kind of the way where anything that I can kind of reach new people, I just go for it now. It was in the first couple of years I was offered like stuff like that, and I just said it's not my thing. Just like I kind of said, like the sit in the circle's not my thing, but you get used to it, and it's good that you get to speak to different people, and it's opened up a lot more opportunities for me as well. So it's been good. It's been a learning thing.
But what do you think has probably been your biggest challenge then? Has it been the funding, the venues, volunteer time, or maybe perhaps the stigma behind it all?
The funding was very difficult at the start. Like we said, the charity thing didn't work for us. We always we could only run a session if we had a sponsor, and that was the way we looked at it. If we didn't have a sponsor, then we couldn't go any further, because it's probably the hardest thing. Like, pitches have went up every single year that we've been running. You don't get pitches for good prices anymore. It's difficult, especially if you want good surfaces. Like, you can play in pitches that are
like the Inverarman cage or something like that.
So we play in Curlucta now, and it's not the greatest pitch, but it's the only one that we can use, and we don't want to move away from South Lanarkshire. But if a place came up close by that was a perfect pitch, then we'd move straight away. But the stigma, just a lot of people felt like they were against us when we first started. A couple of the places that we went to, we had a counsellor years ago when we were in Lanark, and he came up, and his kind of only thing was, this doesn't look like a mental health group. It just looks like a game of football. And I was like,
it's like, that's what it's meant to look like.
That's what it's meant to be.
Well done.
It was kind of, that was one of the more difficult things. It was getting the name out there at the start. I think people did think that we were just there to run sessions and try and get money off businesses, but slowly as we built the brand kind of from the ground up, and we started doing the community work, we started getting into schools, people realised, look, we actually do want to make a difference here.
So it's important definitely to do this podcast. Like, it's not that you need to explain yourself to anybody, but there's people who are naive out there and they'll be expecting the sessions to be, a bunch of doom and gloom, but you have to kind of come on a wee bit and just say, like, listen, like, our goal for the sessions, we want happy faces all over. And you shouldn't have to explain that, but you have to.
You do, because some people might only see one of your sessions a week, and it'll be 60 people's turned up to the Livingston one, and they'll go, oh well, it's free. So let's be honest, 60 people have just turned up for a free game of football, which is probably, if you don't know what we do, then that probably is exactly what it looks like, but there's a deeper meaning, and that's why we've always kind of been somewhere, if we've ever had any like comments on Facebook and that, well, come out then. Come out and see it. We can show you that, look, it's not just a free game of football. And that's like with sponsors and stuff, we've always tried to tell them, come out first, see what we do before you make your mind up.
Because you could like, anybody could start a group like yours and just target it as free games of football. You don't need to use a mental health for that branding to do that. Do you know what I mean? But you clearly,
and then quickly realise that you're spending hundreds of pounds a week on pitches. But there's more groups like us now. There's groups that do more than us, which we're happy. But I think what we do, I feel like we're one of the best at what we do.
You like the benchmarks.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to do something, like, make it as good as that.
Like, obviously there's charities in Scotland that do double what we could ever think about doing, but when it comes to like the nighttime sessions for people at a certain age, maybe people that a lot of people that come to us work in construction. I don't know if that's a football thing or if it's a night thing because they're working, but I feel like what we do, I've never really felt like anybody does it, if that makes sense.
And it inspires these charities as well, because they're not going to have their own ideas about it. You say it didn't exist, and then now that you've done it and things are existing, these charities who do have the fund and the money are just going to take inspiration from what you're doing.
I think us going down a different route for these charities as well, I hope in maybe 4 or 5 years' time that we can help give the charities, like sponsor the charities. That's so we can kind of build ourselves up and help others rather than us just looking for the funding ourselves.
Yeah.
And going back to the stigma, my kind of mental health, how much do you think it is actually the Scottish mentality? The stuff, there's nothing wrong with me, I can put a brave face on this.
It probably
I've
is.
no talk about it.
It probably is. It's people are too
proud.
Too proud to speak about it. People don't want to, and that's a lot of our success stories. If you're interviewing them or if you're doing like testimonials, that's what they say. I was too proud to admit it, and there'll always be people that are too proud. We won't catch everybody. It's impossible. But if we can just try and use our platform to say, look, don't be too proud. Just come. We just want people to come and have a laugh. That's the reality. But there's obviously deeper meanings behind it, but you just want people to come out and just enjoy themselves. And then through that, they trust you, they grow in confidence, they're getting more active, so their fitness is going up, and just all round it's a better picture for them.
Yeah.
100%. I think what you're doing, as I said, it's so important for people. Because it wasn't even until, I know you're obviously doing the football sessions, but I know there's other things like, Jamie's Foundation, there's Andy's Man Club, there's no walk-in mental health groups until the trend of you guys came along, because it's been mental health's been, especially men's mental health, it's been such a neglected area, mental health in young people, mental health in older people, it's something that throughout the years, growing up, at school we had, drug and alcohol talks, we had anti-bullying talks, but there's never anybody who came in to talk about mental health, and for me it's ridiculous that wasn't a thing.
I think now there's not, even, this could even go to football clubs as well, there's not really many people that just come in that younger people can relate to. I always say, probably 9 times out of 10, when people are coming up that maybe feel like they're schemes and stuff like that, I feel like I resonate with them better than maybe other people, and then we've got other people within the group that will resonate with somebody else, and I think the schools and that should take advantage of that and just get people in. It's slowly happening. It's much better now than it used to be, but even if it's just for an hour a day, maybe for a couple of classes, I don't think people realise how much it could be just getting somebody in that they can relate to. And hopefully that could go with football clubs as well. I think that's why slowly we're working with more clubs, and clubs are getting us to come in and not even do talks, just come in and say, look, we'll be a face around here for a couple of months. If you want to come and speak to us. And I think that alone could make a massive difference.
Yeah. No, I think you're quite right, because like you say, with your Andy's Man Club, that's oh well, if I go in there I have to chat.
Aye.
Whereas you got your kick mental health, I'll play football, and if I want, if I can chat if I want to, you know what I mean? There's no pressure per se.
But again, I think stuff like Andy's Man's Club, that's something that we could, their reach is something that we could only ever dream of, and that's because of the hard work that's put in, and they offer something different. So not everybody's got to want the same thing. People message us and go, I'm looking for this, is there anything? And a lot of the time, if it is speaking, we'll go, Andy's Man's Club's the best thing for you, because that's what they do, that's what they specialise in, and they can probably give a lot more help on that stage than we can. And then you've got the smaller charities, which again give different options. We do a lot of work with the scheming stuff in Livingston, and they do creative stuff, and that's something that we wouldn't do, because I'm the least creative person in the world. But what they do is...
Did you make your badge?
I didn't even make that. That's the funny thing. But you need to kind of network with everybody, because somebody's always got to look for something different. And it's good that there is groups coming in every year where they are giving you something different, some stuff that you've never thought of before.
Good.
Definitely. And do you feel... I know you're one of the first ever person to start something mental health related, obviously, but I think you've definitely started a trend, and do you feel sort of proud of that in a way? Yeah,
I'm just happy that people have seen the idea that I've come up with, which is a very basic idea of getting folk to play football, but it's good to see that they've brought it into other communities. Sadly, a lot of the groups that started maybe a year after us round about there, they don't exist anymore, and I'm going to put that down purely to the price of football in general. But we've we've always been quite smart. We've never really, we're majority in West Lothian, we've not tried to kind of push ourselves out there too quickly. And hopefully that it will, if funding comes available, hopefully you will start to see more like us come back again.
Definitely. I think that's really important that more people like yourself exist. Definitely. I take it when you started, obviously said it was just because you've seen a little bit of a problem in Lanark, but I take it you didn't see it expanding.
If I knew it was going to be 12, 13 sessions a week, I don't think I would have bothered, to be honest. But no, it was one of the things where we kind of jumped into it head first and just said, we'll go, let's just see where it goes. And to be honest, so we started in October, when it got to February, we didn't think it was going to exist anyway, because that's when COVID hit. So going from a group that only does football to being told you can't go out the house, that becomes a bit of a problem. And then we just we winged it through COVID. We done anything we could to get a wee bit of traction. We done the Zoom calls. We even done a thing where we got singers on for different parts of the country every week on the Facebook, just so we kept people at our page. And then slowly once we kind of got back, we could do football again. We started to move, and then we moved to Blackburn, and then we got run clubs and stuff like that, kind of just slowly kind of building it up. And I think we'll probably look at maybe other sports as well, slowly as we go.
Because there's nothing on your badge that says kick mental health football, do you know what I mean? Like, it's just... People
always kind of look at us and see us as a football brand, but we've done the run clubs and stuff, and they've been well kind of attended, so there's nothing to say that we can just sit in that one niche. I think, especially if you're going to schools and stuff, you have to target sport in general. And we have slowly started to change it to sport rather than football when we're putting posts and stuff on social media.
Well, throw mental health doesn't it really work? I mean, you could start a brand called Throw Mental Health out the window.
Every time it's always one of the things that every time we start something new, they'll put a different thing on the front of it. And it's not got the same ring to it, so we'll stay with kick and just go with it.
Aye, throw your mental health at the window for basketball and that.
When we started the run club, the first thing that somebody put was run mental health, and I was like, I don't think that.
Run away for your problems.
Aye. It's not the message you want to put across.
It's not got the ring to it that we want, so we'll just slowly kind of build it up and hope that people realise that we do other sports and stuff like that.
Definitely.
If you could change one thing about how Scottish communities talk about mental health, what would it be?
I think, I've said this a few times, there's too much going round. People say that nobody wants to speak, and I don't think that's true, because when we're out 4 nights, 5 nights a week, people are speaking. I just don't think they feel listened to be honest. I think the stigma is now being pushed too much that people don't want to speak, that's the reason why people aren't speaking.
And do you think community clubs like Blackburn and stuff like that they provide the place for these local forums to take place?
I think every community club will play their part. I think even just being on the Blackburn page and seeing that they do some sort of mental health football on a Friday will start a conversation, whether it's parents or coaches. Because we've been to places where, like, people have come out on a Friday night and said, well, I just seen it through people speaking about it at my kids' football, and hopefully that's the part that the community clubs can play. But yeah, I think people are speaking. I just don't know if they feel listened to.
And what would you say to those people who don't feel listened to or don't feel as if they could speak up?
I would say there's something out there for you. Whether it's us, whether it's a different group, just try and make the push, try and socialise with people, try and join one of these groups and see if you like it, because see if you don't, the group will put you onto somebody that you will enjoy. I think it's loads of people come to us and they don't enjoy it, but you now see them that they've been with another group for months, and that's because they've took the jump at a mental health group, as you would call it, and they've been able to network with other mental health groups and find that one somewhere that they feel good. So I think just find something that you think you'll enjoy and go for it.
Definitely.
So what could a football club do this month to support mental well-being without needing like the big money or sponsors? Is it literally sharing your posts and getting the news out there?
Sharing posts, give us a wee message. If you want us to do like talks with different age groups, then we're happy to come in and have a wee chat. It doesn't need to be a counselling session. Like a lot of the stuff we do is within a changing room, and footballers prefer that because that's where the most footballers talk, in a changing room. So
it's a safe space for them.
Yeah, that's where most people that play football feel safer, in a changing room. So I think the best thing you can do is share the posts. We're quite happy to consult with clubs, put plans in place, or we can just come in and speak to the players. That's the best thing.
I wanted to ask you about Fault House Sundays. So I think I don't know if you had seen their stuff. So obviously their mission was like they want to change the culture of a dressing room, like for game, pub, out all night, smash, 10 the next morning, you look at your bank account and you're having a heart attack and that. In terms of that, how important do you think that is, and how much do you think it contribute how that can contribute to mental health as well? Because obviously, we talk about socialising and that, but do you think that pressure of feeling as if you need to be one of the boys every weekend can contribute to mental health issues?
Well, Fault House are in the same league as our amateur team, so we already kind of had we already knew them. John does unbelievable work. Everybody's seen it. He's got the awards for it, which is it's well deserved. And I think what they're doing is again something that I don't think I'd seen anything like it when they first put it out. They put it more towards sobriety and stuff, and it is what do most people do on a Sunday after they play football? They go to the pub. So just even getting people off drink, getting people active, giving them a wee community feel, I think it'll save lives. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah.
It's good. We've always had a good kind of connection with Fault House and stuff. As soon as they started, we've played against them. A lot of your guys know them. A lot of the boys that played with Fault House have been to kick mental health at some point, and I hope it's one of the things that you hope sticks, because a lot of amateur teams only last a couple of years and they go away, whereas I think they've got the kind of platform where they can really give it a good go. Plus they're supported by the Fault House first team and stuff like that as well on a Saturday, so hopefully they can push on and keep doing what they're doing.
Definitely.
So because quite a lot of coaches and volunteers kind of watch this show, what are the kind of quiet warning signs that someone's struggling, even if they're still turning up each week?
Feeling, I would say, probably being a wee bit away from it, kind of keeping themselves away, no chatting. I think it's difficult for coaches because a lot of coaches will feel that it's up to them to catch these warning signs, and if you're a coach with 20, 25 kids, you're not catching every single person that's coming through. All you can do is, I don't know, maybe you'll have a personal relationship with every kid anyway, but just have a wee chat to them, and if you can notice it, if you can see a kind of warning sign where they're not really, they don't look like they're enjoying it. Maybe that's probably the biggest thing. They don't look like they're enjoying it, because you should be coming to football to enjoy it. And 9 times out of 10, if that kid came before, they were enjoying it. So if it maybe looks like it's a bit of a chore for them, then that's probably a warning sign that you could maybe look for.
And if last sort of question about the mental health stuff, if there's someone out there right now and they're struggling, they don't want to say it out loud, what's the first small step that you would recommend for them to take?
Either speak to one of your pals, because sometimes your pals is so much easier, or message a group where you don't know somebody. So I think it's easy to have a conversation when you're struggling with somebody that you don't know. That's why a lot of the stuff that we get through is people messages on Instagram. A lot of people now use their phones anyway. A lot of people don't like this face-to-face talk. That could go back to the whole COVID stuff, but speak to somebody, because that's within days of you speaking to somebody, there's probably a good chance that you'll find somewhere that you can go to get help. I would probably say that's probably the best answer.
That's solid advice.
Good stuff. Right, we'll go on to some quick fire questions then to end it.
wee bit about yourself. I've not really spoke about you. I've been watching all the podcasts and people like, growing up, I'm doing this, and it's just.
I'm not that interesting. It's all right.
Right, grass or 3G?
3G.
Okay, VAR, keep it or bin it?
Bin it.
1-1-0 or 1-4-3?
4-3.
Early kick-off or under the lights?
Under the lights, I would say.
Android or Apple?
Apple.
Messi or Ronaldo?
Ronaldo.
Who do you support?
Rangers.
Rangers win the World Cup or Scotland? Rangers win Champions League or Scotland win the World
Rangers
Cup?
win the Champions League.
Good man.
Biggest myth around mental health?
People don't speak.
And if you weren't doing kick mental health, would you have another little side quest going on?
I'd actually quite like to coach a team, I think.
Right.
Aye.
Stuff.
Brilliant, man.
Is there any other messages or shout outs you'd like to do before we sign off?
You keep saying, like, when you're saying about mental health, kick mental health, you're like, we started this, is that?
So we've got a group of about maybe 10, 15 people that help on a weekly basis. That's the only reason that we can run a schedule as big as we do is because people, and remember that these people aren't getting paid, so
it's all volunteer.
Everything's volunteers. Some of these people are at 4 nights a week, which again, people say to me that nobody will care as much as you, but I think we've managed to get a group of people that do actually believe in what we're doing, and hopefully maybe they think that it will benefit them in the long run as well, because the plans that we've got. And even the community clubs like Blackburn and stuff, we couldn't do the Blackburn session if it wasn't for the community club, because again you couldn't afford that. That's the reality, and just pushing us and basically trying to help us, and hopefully in a couple of years that we can be at a stage where we can help everybody that's helped us.
Yeah.
No, superb. I think just obviously thank you for coming on the podcast, because I think like it's definitely important to spread what you're doing. It's massive. Like I see it on Facebook every single day across all social medias. I think it's massive, and I think it's important to keep pushing it out there. So I think you're doing great work, so obviously well done for that, mate.
No, perfect. It's been a pleasure.
Aye, please do keep it up, and we look forward to having you on the podcast in the future, and we'll look forward to seeing you.
That's if we can afford them. We'll be doing fucking STV.
Public speaking.
I'll always come on if you ever need me.
I appreciate that.
Brilliant.
Right, thank you very much, guys, and thank you very much for listening and watching. We'll be back in 2 weeks' time when we will have Martin Strachan on the podcast, so you look forward to that. See you next time, guys. Bye.
See you later.